Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Running the Bases. I'm your host, Michael Garaffa. I'm joined today by Ryan Blank, Marco Peralta, and a very special guest today. We have Tim Ryder. He is a New York Mets writer. Very, I think it's fitting that your name is Ryder. You know, you're a Mets writer. It only fits perfectly. But it's we've been having a little vacation from shows over the last couple of weeks. We've been having a lot of things going on. I was in Houston last weekend, and this Wednesday, just time didn't match up well. So we're happy to be back for Season 3, Episode 17 today. Is going to be a really great show. But as I said, we have a very special guest today. Tim Ryder is here. Thank you, Tim, for coming on out today. He is our very first guest. I mean, it's we're happy to have you on the show. Our very first person to come on and join us today. I mean, we've been waiting for a while to have people come on, and I'm glad to have you on for the first. Even though it's Mets that these guys aren't going to be happy about it, I'm happy to have someone that's a Mets writer on. So thank you for coming on out for us today.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
And now Nick is here as well. Nick making it on in. Thank you, Nick, for coming out. Nick, and he got a haircut just for the, well, I wouldn't say just for the show, but hold on. Let me see if I can make us look a little bit more snug in here. There we go. Do we like this or do we like this? I don't know. Which are we going for? Yeah, tighter. That's what I thought. Okay. So Tim is he's a writer for The Apple. And he is the host of the Simply Amazing podcast. He is he's a Mets fan, obviously, and a Mets writer. And I know that my co-hosts are going to be killing me for having a Mets person on. But hey, we can handle it. We take heat all the time. We're from New York. We can handle it. So don't worry. But Tim, we're very happy to have you on. He's going to be here for a little bit, talking for however long he's here. We're going to chat with him first, and then we're going to get into the actual segment of today's show. So Tim, first off, I know for me, I know these guys have come with some questions. They're ready to chat with you. But personally for me, I'm obviously really excited for this upcoming year with the Mets and looking really forward to what's coming for 2021. What are your thoughts so far in the Mets offseason? There's been a lot of questions between Mets fans, a lot of people thinking, well, maybe this offseason was a bust because they didn't sign a major free agent, or, you know, obviously the people on the other end who think it was really good. What are your opinions on the offseason in general for the New York Mets?
Really, it was a very successful offseason. I mean, you come away with guys like Francisco Lindor, Cookie Carrasco, Trevor May. I mean, these are all like just very important cogs, especially if they want to compete in what's going to be a tough division. And, you know, missing out on guys like Springer or Bauer, I mean, is it technically missing out? I'm not sure that, you know, when Steve Cohen took over, he was talking about sustainable success. The Mets needed to. Springer would probably only stay in the position for a couple of years. Spending that type of money on a guy who's not going to be your center fielder leading into let's say a Pete Crow Armstrong in a few years, you know, it might be a misuse of funds. Giving Trevor Bauer $45 million a year, you know, and I'm talking just baseball track record. I just, you know, I wouldn't have done it if it was my money. But yeah, you have to think that, you know, the Mets came away from this offseason in a better position to compete. Everything has been lengthened. The roster depth, you know, the starting rotation with the addition of Taijuan Walker, just, you know, they're shoring themselves up. They're reinforcing themselves. And yeah, I would call it a very successful offseason. And I wouldn't even point to the guys they quote unquote missed out on as steps back for the front office.
Right, and I completely agree. I think that it's been a very big offseason for the Mets. And, I mean, we all got excited at the thought of having, you know, George Springer, Bauer on the team. But money-wise, it definitely didn't make sense. Now, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Ryan, I want to start with you. I'm sure you've got a lot of very critical questions. So I want you to lead us off out of the group.
Ryan, please be nice. Don't say something about 2015, okay? Please be nice.
Hey, I won't say anything yet.
He's gonna get to know him first.
Just right before he leaves. Don't worry. All right, Tim. First off, thank you for coming on.
You got it, man.
I know there's a lot of injury worries with the Mets, especially in the rotation. After last year, Syndergaard's coming off Tommy John, and you have Marcus Strowman, who did not pitch an inning last year. How do you think that will affect the starting rotation throughout the season?
Well, as far as Syndergaard, I think they placed him on the 60-day DL, so he's definitely out until I think early June would be that return date. with Strowman, I'm not concerned. This is a guy, if you follow him on Twitter, he works so hard. He puts in so much just training and throwing, and he puts videos up a couple of times a week. I'm not concerned with where he is performance-wise. I think over the course of a long season, going from a 60-game year to a 160-game year is rare, 162 or whatever. It's really going to take a toll on pitching staffs, and that's why I kind of love that the Mets stocked up on depth. Lucchesi, just going down the line, they really did. Yamamoto, who's talking to the media today, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. So I think it's going to be on YouTube. I'm not sure though. They're preparing for that. And as far as Syndergaard, I mean, coming back from Tommy John, you can't really expect too much. But if you've seen him throwing in the past couple of weeks, and even at camp, he's been doing long tossing, and he put up videos at I forgot what baseball academy he was training at, but he looks like he's healthy, and time will tell. But I mean, going into like advanced metrics, he's been one of the more successful pitchers in the majors over the last few seasons. I think the lowest hard hit rate per Fangraphs since the start of 2018. So, the foundation is there, and the depth in the Mets pitching staff is certainly there to, I guess, shore up things in case injuries do pop up, which you have to assume they will. It's a long season.
So, you give the good detailed answers that I can't give them, that makes them actually believe it because they never believe me.
Because he doesn't sound biased. That's the difference.
I don't try to sound biased. It just happens sometimes.
Sure.
Now, Marco, you because you came second on in here, you get the next question.
All right. Well, thanks again, Tim, for coming on. Just my question to you is what do you think about just teams like, for example, when we saw Steve Cohen take over the Mets, we just think he's going to spend money like crazy. And the thing that I'm just curious about is like, there's no salary cap in baseball. There's always like going over the luxury tax. So like, how do you feel about like teams like they're just so like scared of passing that luxury tax, which prevents them from signing big players?
It's a shame because, especially for a team going over that threshold for the first time, it's a minimal fee. I think I wish I had it here. I want to say it's 10% of the total that you go over. So let's say team, it's 20%. I'm sorry, it is. It's 20%. So let's say a team goes $10 million over the threshold. They only owe $2 million to the luxury tax. That's, for a Major League Baseball team, that's a drop in the bucket. The fact that it's viewed as such a hard, quote unquote cap, it's a joke, if you want my honest opinion. With the new CBA that's going to be discussed after the season, I imagine we're going to see some pretty wild shifts as far as just this whole kind of genre of the game. It's a tricky, because then you got teams like the Pirates, or I can't even say nothing about the Rays because these guys are competitive every single. But look at the Pirates. I mean, they're going to have a total payroll this season that's going to be less than what Trevor Bauer is making this season, or something along those lines. Like, if there's going to be a cap, or if teams are going to treat it like a cap, then there's got to be a floor. And competitive balance really is important. And you don't necessarily want parity, because that, I don't want to say it sucks the excitement out of the game, because it doesn't. It makes things more exciting in a way. But if you're a New York Mets and you just spent the last 15 years, operating business, or conducting business, if you're the Kansas City Royals, no offense, Ron, but just the whole big market, small market thing. This is a $10 billion+ a year industry. There's got to be a better way. I guess that would be my short answer. I'm sorry if I was long-winded there.
It makes sense.
No, you're good, Tim. And I think the next one I have for you is basically kind of connecting to an extent to that, is like, for example, like the predictions on Fangraphs, for example, also the Shredder that we all know about, MLB Network. Are you a fan of those as well? Because like sometimes I think they're just overrated, that they're just generalizing how a team might perform. Then all of a sudden, a surprise team comes out of nowhere, or like a leading team decides to go from first place in the division, like projected, they go all the way to the wild card. For example, in the NL East, you have like the Braves who were competitive. They made it to the NLCS, and now they're projected to finish third or fourth of their division. Like I don't know if they don't respect the team or just I don't know what's going on. So are you a fan of those?
Personally, I don't really subscribe to projections. It's fun to look at, and I'm in the same boat as you. I think that the Braves are being severely undervalued. That is a very, very talented team. But I guess with these formulas and with these algorithms taken into account, I just had Ariel Cohen from ATC. He's one of Fangraph's projectors. He was just on my podcast 2 weeks ago. And so much goes into these. And I guess what these projections do is expose vulnerabilities. And look at the Braves, for example. Like that's a well-rounded team, but maybe the starting rotation isn't as strong as it could be. Or that's just an example. And then you look at the Mets, who, these projections love the Mets recently. I think that's kind of a credit to what the front office has done as far as, like we were just saying, kind of reinforcing all those weak spots. It's encouraging for a team like the Mets to get, strong projections, but no, I don't put a whole lot of weight into them. I don't, if anything, if I'm the Braves, I look at that and that's just a new chip on my shoulder. And, I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
It's also been very funny looking at those projections because I've seen all over Mets Twitter. Everyone laughs. So like, okay, thanks, but the Mets aren't winning the NL East, and if they do, the Braves are definitely not finishing fourth. I think what you were hitting on there too is they're valuing a lot of depth, and the Braves don't have that pitching depth, and they're a very injury-prone team the last couple of years. That could wipe them out if they lose, let's say, Fried or Ian Anderson this year. That could knock them out, and that could give the Mets a clear path. Because as of right now, the Mets are obviously a very stable number 2 in that division. Now, Nick, it's funny because Nick, with your haircut, you look so much younger than you ever have. Like it's incredible. The haircut, you look like a completely new person. So let's get your question.
First of all, Tim, thanks for coming on. My question kind of pertains back to what Marco was saying about the Braves and like the Fangraphs, going back to that. Well, Michael thinks that the Mets have a shot at competing with the Braves for the NL East this year. I want to get your take on that and see where you guys stand with the best. I personally, for me, and I think for Ryan and Marco too, we think that the Braves are going to repeat as division champions this year. Michael has different plans, but where do you think the Mets stack up with the Braves coming into this season? I know it's not even. I know like most people haven't even reported spring training yet, but like right now, where do you see your team competing with the Braves?
Neck and neck. Absolutely. Atlanta is such a talented team. If I had to, I know you didn't ask for it, but if I had to pick, Ozzie Albies is going to be the breakout star of that team this year. I think he's going to have just an enormous season. If the Mets do stand out in my mind, just, it's only based on the starting pitching, because even without Syndergaard, that's a really, really nice rotation. The bullpen, if everybody plays up to their capabilities, that's a very strong group. And the offense, I mean, going back to 2019, I think by weighted runs created plus, Mets are 5th in baseball over that span. So it's a strong team. And I think the Braves are good. I think the Phillies, if they play up to their capabilities, that's a very competitive team. I think Zach Wheeler could be a Cy Young candidate this year. I think he's been very, very under the radar. And yeah, it's going to be a tough division. I think the Braves, you can't even count out the Nationals. That's a nice group too. It's going to be tough. You know what I don't like is that the Marlins are being treated as a doormat. And I don't think that they are close to being a doormat. I think that's a very, very talented young team. The second that you start counting these young guys out is when they start playing harder. And we saw that last year. It's going to be a tough year. And for a team to kind of pull away in the division, and that goes for any division, they're going to have to, play well inter-division. Yeah. And teams, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be a very, very neck and neck year. But as I've said many times on the show, the Mets have the capability of doing it. It's just a matter of staying healthy and beating out everybody else, which they've seemed to not be able to do in the last few years.
Wait, well, Michael, hold up, quick second.
Yes.
You did say that they were able to win the division, right? But at one point as well, you said they're shooting for the World Series already. So
they are.
Yeah,
absolutely. They're going to try to win the World Series this year, and like I said, if the Mets play to their potential, they could win the World Series. If
I was going to say, I think Vegas has them. I think sixth highest team based on odds, but I believe it's the fifth best odds. I think they're 12-1 coming into the weekend.
It's somewhere up there. But I just feel like that if, let's say, Syndergaard comes back and he pitches the way Noah Syndergaard should, and Strowman pitches very well. If the Mets rotation pitches the way that they are supposed to, the Mets are definitely going to be contenders. And I completely expect Francisco Lindor to have a bounce back year. I expect Pete Alonso to have a bounce back year this year. If all those pieces work, the Mets don't have a single hole in their lineup or in their rotation right now. The only question is the bullpen, and we'll see what they do with that. So once they go from there, if they play well and let's say make a good deadline deal for a bullpen piece, the Mets could definitely contend for a World Series. But it's just, you have any thoughts on that, Tim?
I agree 100%. I think, they've done I think the bullpen's going to hinge on, if you can get the most out of Familia and Betances, that is arguably the toughest bullpen in the league. I mean, just at the back end, you have Diaz, you have May. When Lugo comes back, that's a huge, huge piece. He's been one of the best relievers in baseball going back a few. If you have Betances and Familia, just kind of shoring that up. And even if they do go out and bring in a guy like Jeremy Jeffress or there's another name out there that I was really intrigued in.
Shane Green. Chris Jones for the Apple actually just wrote about this morning. Go check it out, everybody. They've done a real good job of just reinforcing weaknesses. I keep on coming back to it, but it's the truth. Yeah, I mean, they've done a very good job. And I mean, the only questions I've had is the bullpen. And obviously, I've been worried about Familia since 2016, and Betances worried me last year. And it's a hit or miss bullpen. That's going to be the biggest thing. So I want to circle around for one more round of questions before we get into the unbiased matchups part of today's show. But Ryan, I'm sure you have a little bit more of a deeper dig in question, and I want you to go for it.
Michael has talked a lot about David Peterson. How do you think signing Taijuan Walker and getting Cookie Carrasco affects his development and his impact on the team this season?
David Peterson, before last year, never pitched above Double-A. And even at that, I think he only had no appearances. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm perfectly fine with him spending the season in AAA and let kind of his skills develop. I would hate to see him get thrust back into the rotation and, making 10 or 11 starts. Or I think it was 9 starts, 10 appearances last year for him. The league, or the division, I should say, because he only faced the NL East. They didn't really get, the American and National League East.
Yes.
The league didn't really get a book on him. And for a young pitcher who's still developing his stuff, I think that give the rest of the league time, and they're going to attack. That's just part of the game. It's cat and mouse game, and these are professional baseball players. They're gonna catch up to whatever you're throwing at them. It doesn't matter if you're Jacob deGrom. You always have to adjust. And I'm concerned that he might not be ready to make those adjustments. Not to discredit his skills, but without the experience, without being truly ready, I'm totally fine with him gaining that necessary experience in AAA this season. But again, if they need him, they need him. But with guys like Yamamoto and Sean Reed Foley and Joey Lucchesi, you can even go to Robert Gazelman, who might even be leaned on in the bullpen in Lugo's absence. We'll see. I'm okay. I'm okay with him kind of taking his time, letting that development, I guess you could say, breathe.
Yeah. Now, one thing on David. Yes, I'll get to you in a sec, Marco. But I have a stat on David Peterson that I don't think anybody knew. Last year, Jacob deGrom had a 6.2 hits per 9. David Peterson had a 6.5 hits per 9. Those are elite numbers. The only problem with Peterson is he had a 4.6 walks per 9. if he can get that number down with that kind of hits per 9, those are really good numbers. But like you said, that comes with experience. He's got to get better at his control. So that's why I'm very high on him. I know he's only very new into the league, but I have very high expectations for what he can produce. Marco, I'm sure you've got some good stuff too. Ryan, I expected like a Mets, like I hate the Mets question, but it's okay.
Hold on. Let me put this out there before I get any more hate. I do not hate the Mets. With Michael's bias and everything he says, I like them a little bit less. And I think Marco and Nakash agree with me.
Yeah, like I have a friend that he's a really big Mets fan, besides Michael, and he covers the Mets as well. But like because of him, I like the Mets, but when I hear Michael, it makes me despise the Mets sometimes. I'm like, bro, like come on, like relax. No, but just messing with you, Michael. I love you. And I know we had like a raise hand system like we have in Zoom,
yes.
So I don't know. But my question for you, Tim, is as of right now, we see the acquisitions the Dodgers got with their bullpen, also Trevor Bauer, and then the Padres did in the NL West with their rotation that's pretty solid now. And I was just curious, in your opinion, where do you think the Mets stand, like when it comes to like top 10 teams? Like, for example, people are putting the Dodgers in first place, people putting the Padres in third, second, you know what I mean? So right now, where do you think the Mets stand if it was a top 10 list?
I've got to say right in the 5-6 area, because all right, let's say you got the Dodgers. I'm not, this isn't not in any necessary order, but the Dodgers are up there. The Yankees are still a very, very good team. The White Sox are going to absolutely, I think, shock the American League this year. And they're pretty highly rated as well. I think Vegas has them up there. The Padres, I mean, Joe Musgrove, man, nobody's talking about Joe Musgrove. That they might give the Dodgers a run in the division. Forget about getting in as a wild card. Just so many good teams. Yeah, I would probably put the Mets 5 or 6. I'm confident in the depth. Like we were saying, the offense is absolutely elite, and with the moves that they made to kind of shore up the rotation, they're as close as you can get. I think, like Michael was saying, if the bullpen can produce and really be what they're supposed to be, that's a strong team. Yeah.
No, he took the other question I had in my mind. I was like, so in that case, 5 or 6, just basically what do you think is the key thing that's missing to say or to be confident this Mets team is going to be a World Series champion eventually? And I think you're about to say the bullpenners or something more specific than that.
I think Noah Syndergaard's return is one of the things. If he comes back and he's Noah Syndergaard, I'd hate to be the team and have to face Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, and or Marcus Strowman and Carlos Carrasco in a playoff series. How are you going to compete with that? I mean, that might be as good, if not better, than the Dodgers. I mean, it's right up there because that's a tough one. I'm curious to see how Bauer does this year. If he really keeps this elite stuff going, I mean, it might even put them ahead because Buehler's just a monster. But it's going to be a tough one. I'm more confident in the bullpen than most people. I think Edwin Diaz, he had a really, really bad first year in New York. He was terrific last season. Trevor May is another guy who kind of flew under the radar. I think he's going to be very, very strong. Missing Lugo is big. And I think if the Mets went out and really tried for Trevor Rosenthal, I wouldn't have been upset if they overpaid for it because you kind of need that. But yeah, I'm okay with it. And even going back to Betances, he had I think it was sometime in August, maybe it was like 10 appearances in a row. He was back to being Betances, and the velocity it probably wasn't there all the way. But as you get older as a pitcher, I mean, these guys learn how to pitch, not just throw. And he's always had nasty off-speed stuff, but I think he's kind of learning when to use those bullets, and I'm certainly bullish on Betances' return this year. Familia, you take what you can get. He still has outstanding stuff, but boy, he either leaves them right over the strike zone or he walks guys on 4 pitches.
Yeah, that's very true. Now it's also important. I didn't let you know before the show the affiliations of the teams other than Ryan. Marco's a Dodger fan, and so he's very passionate about those Dodgers. He's got very high hopes, and then Nick's a Tigers fan. So I mean, we don't have to worry about offending Nick.
Nick, I am very excited for Riley Green. Can you tell me about Riley Green?
I'm excited too. It's not even just Riley Green. I'm excited for our entire farm system. This I know we're not supposed to talk about the Tigers at all. Actually, but just real quick.
Had to get inside information.
No, 100%. I just had a quick question for you though, as a Mets fan. I know every year you go in with expectations, this, and that, but like as of right now, you see the current state of your team. You have your new ownership. You have a new type of, I would say, aura in New York right now, and it's just different than any other year. I feel like as a Mets fan. What year? Like I know you could definitely say this year, there's definitely a possibility too. But what year do you realistically see this team just winning it all? Like what year do you really just feel like is your year? Because I feel like right now that it's like almost every year up until this point it's been the Dodgers, and I think when do you think the Mets can take over as that team in the NL?
Honestly, I mean, I try to keep my fan bias out of all of my work, but I think I am in this position. I think that in a 7-game series, if you match up piece by piece, the Dodgers don't have that much of an edge over the Mets. The Dodgers do have an edge, but it's not as much as people think. And I think that, for the Mets to actually compete, they're going to need guys like J.D. Davis to continue being what he was in 2019. The Dodgers are kind of just riding on that talent that they have in place. They don't have to worry about guys playing up to capability. If the Mets play up to their potential, I think that would be a legendary 7-game series in a prospective NLCS.
Yeah, I completely agree. I put the Mets at about 2023. That's my year that I give him.
Cohen was pretty, he said 3 to 5 years is his goal to win a World Series. I would put it closer to 3. I would say within 3, this team has the potential to really do something special.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's about it. And I know that Marco, these guys they don't like the fact that the Mets, that we think the Mets are on the same level as the Dodgers, but it's okay. They'll see. They'll get to know.
No, and that's taking nothing away from the Dodgers. They're by far the favorites in the National League and arguably in the majors. No, without a question. I do like what the Mets have done. I like the Braves. I mean, I love the Padres. I know, Marco, you must hate to hear that, but they've done a lot.
That's true. They have. Ryan, you unmuted yourself. You.
No, yeah, like I don't know why, Michael. You think I'm gonna get offended of all that kind of stuff? Like, why would I be offended if it already happened?
That's true. You already won the World Series.
I have one of those too.
Hey, so did the Royals, Michael. You want to know against 2 though?
I already know against 2.
No, I think just to add on to what basically Tim said is the Padres they made a lot of good moves, and was I a little bit worried? Yeah, I was a little bit worried until all of a sudden we got Trevor Bauer. How often can you get a free agent that just won the Cy Young Award? And like
paying $40 million a year if it was your money.
If it was my money, I would say unfortunately yes, because that's the market is headed this way.
Okay.
Because that's what's going on. Like if we were like in back times, like if you had like for example Nolan Ryan and you didn't get paid nearly the amount that Trevor Bauer got paid, and like would I pay better Nolan Ryan than Trevor Bauer? Absolutely, of course, but just the fact that the market is changing, a lot more income is coming into the league, and it just that's the thing that I think that sucks about contracts nowadays. That for example, Tatis Jr. I think I don't want to sound like a doubter on the kid. I love the kid. He's really, really talented, but I just think like for 14 years, $340 million is a little bit too soon, in my opinion, because like of the fact like he had a great rookie year, had a great last year, but you have to pay him his due to make sure that you want to give him the vibe that you want to keep him forever and that you love him. So I get what the Padres did. I think it's a little bit too soon to give him that big contract, but hey, that's where the market is going nowadays. Just those high level amounts of money and contracts and bonuses and incentives, and that's just basically where it's going. And that's why I think Trevor Bauer got paid the money they got paid with the Dodgers.
Absolutely. So thank you for the questions, everybody. I appreciate it. And it was, I'm sure, Tim, I'm happy to have someone else talk about the Mets. I'm happy to have someone that's more objective than me talk about the Mets.
That's all you need, because we go after. You need someone who's not.
We don't mind talking about the Mets, bro. We just can't stand how you're delusional about them sometimes. That's the only difference.
Tim has had more years. He's had more years of objectivity than me, so he's got more practice of it. I don't have as many years of being objective about the Mets. I've been a fan until a year ago, so
no need for the excuses. Just admit that you're
biased. Yes, most times I am, but I try.
Right, so, Tim, I do have one more question, if that's okay, Michael.
Of course, man.
Of course.
So this is not baseball related. So it's industry related. Like, could you tell us basically how'd you got your start, and basically how you are where you are right now, and do you have any future goals? And like, for example, us, we're still in school. I'm about to graduate this upcoming semester. Actually this semester. So like, just what advice would you give us to try to get into the business, or in this case, we're all baseball lovers, just to get into the baseball world in general?
It's funny, man. I'm 37. I didn't start writing for, let's put it this way. Nobody else read my words until 2017. I started blogging about the Islanders. I was, hanging out one night. I said, you know what? This is something that I've always kind of wanted to do. I knew I could write. I jumped into it, and it took off. And, people have told me that I just kind of let my thoughts out there. And I guess that's what's endeared me to some readers. And, I appreciate it all, but it's still wild to me. Like, I still consider myself a blogger. And, I guess as far as goals, excuse me, I don't know if I can curse.
I'll bleep it out. It's okay.
My apologies.
Okay.
As far as goals, full-time work. Up until not too long ago, I was a steam fitter. I was putting in, fire sprinklers as my day job and doing this at night. I started writing about the Mets in late 2017. Metsmerized Online brought me on. And, from there, I think it was something like 1,200 articles in 3 years before I started the Apple, where I'll talk about in a second. But, just kind of nose to the grindstone type stuff. And again, it's funny. People come out and they want to get a scoop, or they want to throw out these, they want to get clicks, and they want to throw out these crazy opinions, and, oh yeah, let me drum up. And then there's a place for that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, there's a lot to be said for just putting your stuff out there, doing your homework. And I know I'm talking to students, and there's no pun intended, but I got this from a journalist who I grew up reading, a sports writer I grew up reading, and he followed me on Twitter like months after I started doing this. And that was just the biggest high in the world. And he told me, he's like, just do your homework. And it applies to everything you do in this business. And, even I still mess up. I put out stuff yesterday. I put in, there was just a messed up sentence or something silly. Like, do your homework, be vigilant, be diligent, I should say. And yeah, that's the best advice I can give, man. I'm sure you guys can attest to it. You're finishing up school right now. There's times you just don't want to work. There's times that it's not in you. Go ahead and reach down, find the inspiration. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've sat down and you sit at the keyboard and there's nothing there, but, spark something, watch something. Spark a thought. I didn't mean
Don't light your house on fire.
Yeah, we don't want to be like 5 years old again and be like, Mom, look, I discovered fire.
Yes.
No, but I just find the inspiration, do your homework. It's there. If you had the dedication to do it, you're gonna get there. Just don't stop.
A quick follow-up, Tim. Like, for me, I'm not a writer at all. Like, I gave it a shot. I just, like, I thought I was a good writer in school, like regular school, not journalism school. So, and then I did game stories and like in-depth stories. I don't think I'm gonna be a writer. I'm more like a broadcaster, and that's where I had most of my success. most of my connections through radio and TV. So just what kind of advice would you give like a broadcaster? Like how important is writing, or just like it's good to have like on in the backside of your pants, something like that, like it in your pocket or something like that, you know?
Well, being able to, even from a broadcaster's view, from a scout's point of view, any of that, you kind of have to be able to that conduit from your brain to your tongue, or from your brain to your fingertips when you're typing. It's an important. It's a tool. It's an exercise. It's a skill. You got to work it out, just like you do bicep curls or whatever. It's the biggest thing is keeping that kind of gateway open and clean and working at full capacity. And I can't even tell. For me, it was writing every day. Writing every day keeps me sharp, even if I have nowhere to write. There was a week there after Mets Marais before the Apple, I had no writing home. I just sat here and put thoughts down just to keep myself sharp. Like, I know it's a cliche, but it's the little things. And it's, yeah. And once you start to feel that, how should I put it? Once you start to feel the exercises actually have an effect, it's a cool feeling. It makes you want to keep on doing it. It's, you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it. Once you hit your groove and once you hit your rhythm, you feel it and you want it again. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, well, thank you, Marco, for asking that question, because I wanted to get around to that at some point, but I'm glad you asked it, and thank you, obviously, Tim, for the advice. It's obviously important. Now, I do want to get in the at least one unbiased matchup before I know you have to head out soon. But
I heard my daughter. I told her I need a few minutes. So
okay, well, just let me know whenever you have to head out. Just give me a holler, because I'm going to be taking a look at the sheet I have here of the stats. So let me know, and then I'll let you give your final outtake, and then we'll have to unfortunately say bye. But let's get into the unbiased matchups here. This unbiased matchup setup that I have here is something that I did on Twitter for a little bit, didn't really get any traction. So I figured the only way that I'm going to get the traction and the enjoyment out of it is from doing it here on the show. So basically, I've come up with a bunch of matchups between two players. I have their stats, but not their names. Well, I have their names. You won't have their names. Now, you guys are going to be picking which players you would prefer to have on your team, or just in general. The main purpose of this is to find players that are underrated or overrated, or some players are going to be, exactly what you expect. But there are players in here. The point of this is for them to surprise you with how good they are compared to a big name. Now, some of these are going to probably surprise you. The first couple are really surprising here. So what I'm going to do, just going to give the stats. I'm going to give some of the important stats, and then I'm going to have you guys chat about it a little bit. We'll go in the order of Ryan, Tim, Marco, and Nick. You'll give the who you would rather have, and a little bit of a reasoning why. So the first player matchup here, player A, we have this person through the first 10 years of their career. They played in 1,112 games, 4,600 plate appearances. They had 1,200 hits, 238 home runs, 738 RBIs. They batted 290 with a 354 on base percentage and a 530 slugging. Now, again, if you need me to repeat any of those, please let me know. If you want to, write them down, that's up to you guys.
You can put out a banner with the stats.
Well, I mean, I could try, but the thing is, the name is there, so I could just.
I'll tell you this much, Mike. You have a Mac, right?
Yes, I do.
Man Shift 4.
I know how to screenshot. That's how I got them into my doc.
Stats and share the screen.
Go ahead.
I could try and do that. We'll do that. We'll make that work. We'll get it to it'll take a little bit longer, but for the purpose of making it easier for you guys, we'll make it work. Let me get the screenshot up. It's not showing the screenshot on my desktop, of course, because that's just how it likes to work. There we go. We've got the screenshot up. Marco, I appreciate the advice.
Seconds, man. It's not lightning speed. Give some seconds, bro.
I know. No, I'm good. We're sharing screen. Let's find it. There we go. Okay, cool. Wow, that actually opened up a lot quicker. So there, let's get this in. Perfect. So that's the first. Okay, well, it shows the teams they played for. Just don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the stat line there. That's the first stat line. Let me see if I can get up another. I have to take a look at that for a minute while I get the other one screenshot, and then I'll get the other one. I'll get the other one up there for you. So let me just get rid of the team affiliation for this one.
I know Nick is looking at that batting average on that for sure.
Oh yeah, Nick's loving that batting average.
How about the power, Marco?
Oh
Not-
yeah. You're not a fan of that power, Marco?
I gotta see. I gotta see who the other guy is.
That a
I
20
know.
strikeout rate. Oof.
Shout
I
out
know,
JD
right?
Martinez.
Dang, that's
Nick, you're not supposed to say anything.
Sorry, I was just trying to do it in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, that has to be him.
Well, you're not supposed to guess who it is.
I-
Okay, so we're stopping sharing on that one, and then we're going to get up the other one. So you guys have an idea of what they are. Now let me make sure. Okay, this is the right one. There we go. Perfect. There we go. This is the other one. So now keep that in mind. I don't think there's a way for me to have both up here, or I would have both up here, but you guys got to get a nice long look for the. I'll keep up the other one on my screen here, so that if you have any questions on comparisons. But just for the record, the first player who Nick spoiled is JD Martinez. Has 238 home runs, 738 RBIs. The batting average was 290, on base percentage 354, slugging 530, and OPS 883. So just take a look at them, and if you guys at any point, if you have you want to blurt out who you would rather have, go ahead and do that. But once we have all of our picks for them, I'll let you know who the second player is.
Hey, Michael, how many games did the first guy play?
1,122.
I'll take player B.
Yeah, I got player B as well, and I got it based only on the strikeouts. He strikes out like, oh boy, this has to be like at least 5% less of the time.
Yeah, the other one that average was the 13 strikeouts per season. This
Oh,
100.
Wow, 380 on the. Hold on, now I'm curious who this is now.
Well,
I'm also gonna go with player B.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
player B.
But
all right. This is Jim Edmonds.
wow,
Jim Edmonds through the first 10 years of his career. So just going to show you the similarities between the two players that people see. It's surprising how similar JD Martinez and Jim Edmonds really are in terms of how they.
but JD Martinez can't play defense nearly as well as
Exactly. But, the
Yeah,
offensive numbers.
that's what you do.
ever seen.
Yes, that's very true.
Oh.
But it's interesting to have this, the comparison, because you don't expect it. So it's definitely surprising with that one. This next one is going to be a real surprise. So Tim, I want you to especially stick around for this one, because this is the biggest surprise out of all of them, at least for me. So I'm intrigued for you guys to have them. Let me make sure that I get these up right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you know what we should have done?
What?
We should have had Tim experience the Jeopardy segment. That would have been fun.
Yes, it would have been fun, but
Is
Tim
that-
can always come back.
Next year, I'm definitely. If you had me back, I am more than willing to come back and play Jeopardy. This was fun.
He would probably whoop all of us.
Hey, I did pretty good last game. Just letting you know.
Yeah,
That's
Marco,
true.
fire. That is
I
true.
think it would be cool one day, because we're gonna have some more guests on, to have some of our guests have their own Jeopardy game. Because we're having Justin Toscano come on next weekend. Have some of our guests come on and do a Jeopardy show. But I definitely would like to have you guys all on and do your own.
For that, I have to really dig.
Justin's great. You're gonna really enjoy spending time with him. And you guys are ASU guys, right?
Yes, we are. So that's the connection.
I will be tuning in. That should be fun.
Well, I'll definitely send you the link for that next week. I'm assuming he'll be on next week. We'll firm that up as we get through the week. But so this next one here, Marco, I know he left, but he'll get to see it in a little bit. But this is the first player here. The exact numbers. This is this player through the first 17 years of their career, which is their entire career, I believe. No, I think they had 2 more years after this. So this is the first 17 years of this player's career.
Wow. Can I ask you what the era is? Can we just like a decade or like?
It's 2000s into the 2010s.
Get out of here! Look at that strikeout. Okay,
Strikeout's really, really good.
look, that's amazing.
That's really good.
that's like a 13.
It's a little low. So now it makes me feel like he has to be an outfielder.
Was he a starter?
No, I'm gonna think. I think this is a second baseman.
Yeah. If anything, there's no way it's a third baseman or first baseman.
Yeah, I can't, because those guys swing at everything.
Okay, 0. He has like 14 stolen bases in 17 years. Okay, hold on.
Okay, this has to be a second baseman now.
Well, and you never know.
Three fast second baseman's there.
You might
I
have
love this.
God.
Let me know when you guys are ready for the next one, and I'll show that too.
I'm
ready to say one.
Okay.
Hold on.
Marco's not ready.
No, it's because my battery was dying. And I was like, I gotta go get my charger. But I'm just looking at his stats again. Took a picture of him so I know what to compare it with.
My computer's about to die. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think I have an idea who that might be. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Let's see the next.
let's get the next one up. Let me make sure that I get it right. I think it's this one. Okay, yes, it is this one.
Same batting average.
Less strikeouts. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
This one is gonna really surprise you guys.
All right, can I just flat out ask, is this Matt Holliday?
It is not Matt Holliday.
Question.
Yes.
I forgot because I have one of the worst memories of anyone in this world. How many games did the last guy play?
How many what?
How many games did the last guy play?
1,865.
Holy cow. I got this guy. I got player B, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I got player B too because that's 200, almost 200 games difference. You have a lot more home runs. At the same time,
Well, player A had more home runs in less games.
Yeah.
yeah, but look at the walks. Like the walks, even that. Like player A 283, and this player he's 500. Where's it at? 513. The
Also,
strikeouts, they're pretty similar too. So higher slugging by a tad bit. I mean, no, lower slugging. I'm trying to look at this. Higher OPS.
Last guy's OPS plus was what? It was higher than right? It was
OPS
It's
was
3.
95 for the
The other
first.
one had 95. This one has 98. So, and more total bases. So I'm gonna go with player B. I like this guy.
this is a good one.
This is a really good one. Oh, you guys are going to be so surprised, first of all.
All right, because I thought these were middle infielders. Now I think they're outfielders. Because the lack of speed is just stolen bases weren't really a part of the game. A lot of doubles. Yeah, I'm gonna go with B just because I love guys who don't strike out. That's my only basis for that. Guys, he didn't strike out nearly as much.
I got a B as well on strikeouts and walks. That walk number is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with B. The two guys have the same batting average. I just feel like this hitter's just more of an efficient hitter. I feel like, if that makes sense.
And hit by pitch. I mean, that's just nice.
Yeah, 100%.
This is I know, right? Nice. But this is great because first of all, now Tim, these guys all have their own segments that we do at the end of the show. They give like little trivia stuff, and it always stumps me, and it's great for me to have a little bit of trivia for them. So this is you guys are completely off on who they were and their positions. They're both catchers.
Okay.
Player A is AJ Pierzynski, and player B is Yadier Molina.
Yeah, come on, bro.
80%.
It's Yachty, bro. What do you expect?
I know, but AJ Pierzynski stacks up a lot better to Yadier Molina than I really thought he did. That's
Well, it's not. It's
You're
not
looking at his hitting. You're not looking at
Molina was
too.
like an amazing hitter.
right.
I remember 2006 too well to even remotely bring myself to start rooting for Yachty. But that's a nice career, man.
It is. It's very solid. So I mean, it was the most surprising thing for me to see that those numbers were so similar, especially their batting average. I mean, we all respect Yachty so much. Obviously, a clear Hall of Famer, and for AJ Pierzynski, who's probably not going to be a Hall of Famer, who had these incredible numbers. It was very surprising to me. So that's something that I was impressed by. So Tim, are you sticking around for another one, or are you heading on out?
No, I do. I have to split, but guys, I want to thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Well, I'm glad you came on. We're all happy you came on. You're welcome anytime. Now,
You're
before you head out,
Michael, because you had another Mets fan in here.
Okay. Now
This was fun though.
I'm just pulling your plug, Michael. Thanks for coming on, Tim. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Tim. This was
so
fun.
much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And now, before you head out, I do want you to plug yourself a little bit. What are you working on? What are some of the things you're doing today in journalism, and where can people find it?
All right. So brand new site we just started. We're on Substack, so it's more like a newsletter format, but we're kind of treating it like a blog site. So that's theapplenym.substack.com. Substack's SEO is not really up to snuff, so searching us on Google really isn't even an option just yet. But you can follow us on Twitter. That's at theapplenym. Podcast is at Simply Amazing. Not leave off the G. Simply Amazing Pod. I'm on Twitter. It's Timothy R. Ryder, RYDER, and just about coming into fruition here. So we're going to be kicking things up a notch, and check out the site. And again, it's at the Apple NYM. Check us out on Twitter. It's the best place to get all our information.
Is that it, Marco? Is that what you're?
Yes, that's us.
Okay. I couldn't tell the pictures like throwing me off, but so
it's a Milwaukee viewer.
For posting for Chris, and I cut off Jeremy Jefferson's head in the preview. So
it's okay. Maybe you won't have to worry about it. Maybe he'll be wearing a Mets uniform soon. You never know. But we'll have to wait and see. So thank you, Tim, for coming out today. I'll let you know in the future if you want to come on for a Jeopardy show or anything else. You're welcome anytime. We're happy to have you at any point. Let me know. I'll let you know when we're doing shows. You can hop on, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to do another thing. It's fine. But I'm glad you came on, and I'm really appreciative of it.
I'm really happy to come back anytime you'll have me. And Michael, Ryan, Nick, Marco, I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate it. And see you Sunday.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun.
LGM, man. LGM.
All right.
Whoa, Nick. Thank you. So
Nick just said LGM. No.
Nick just said LGM.
He was a cool guy. He was a cool guy.
No. LGM. Let's go, man. That's what he's trying to say. Let's go, man.
Let's go.
I like when he talks about the Mets way more than Michael.
Wow.
He's much more, I will agree, he is much more professional about the Mets than I am. That I'm not going to deny. I'll take full responsibility for the fact that I'm not as professional as Tim is. That's understandable. So let's do, obviously, huge thanks for Tim. We're happy he came on. And like I said, next week we are hoping to have Justin Toscano on. He is a couple of years older than us, an ASU grad. So we're hoping that he will be able to come on next weekend and do something similar. We're going to have another kind of, I don't know. I don't remember what the show is going to be next weekend, but let's do one more of these unbiased matchups before, I believe, whose segment is it today? We've got Ryan's segment today. So I'm sure, yes, Ryan is
Jeopardy, and I cut it down to three topics because Michael hates my segment.
That's
I think maybe Nick and Michael are gonna potentially win it because I can't defend my title today. It sucks. It sucks.
It's okay, Marco. Well, you'll be here on Wednesday. We're doing also Wednesday special time, 10 a.m. Because we're all busy in the evening that day. So 10 a.m. be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be, it'll be we're getting down to the wire, these Wednesday shows. Let's be real here. We're getting close to the regular season.
Starting on our divisional breakdowns and our start of our power rankings. I want to know.
Oh, that'll be, let me get to the bullpen. Marco, thank you for coming out. We'll see you Wednesday. I know you have to head out. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We love you as always.
Marco, I'll miss you.
Bye, buddy.
Would you really miss me, Ryan?
Yes.
Would you really miss me, Ryan?
Would you really miss me?
Yes.
Miss me enough to replace me with Parker Dunn?
He is the last resort. And back. We expect him to be back.
I love your haircut.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Bye.
Yes. It looks sick. I love the haircut. So,
guys, let's go get Parker now.
All right. Send him the link and no hard feelings.
Yeah, that's funny. So we are starting the 2021 coverage on March 14th. That's when we will begin. We have exactly.
Oh, that's so close to my birthday, man.
Okay, good. That's great. So we're going to be having 6 shows of 2021 coverage. before we get into the actual year of opening day itself. That'll be during spring training, obviously. We're going to hope to go out to
top players at each position.
All right, I'll give you the order. So March 14th, we're doing top 10 of each position entering the year. March 17th, we're going to be doing our fantasy league we're going to be starting our own fantasy league, the four of us, and we're going to have our draft live. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing March 21st, a review of our off-season predictions. So we're going to be getting some cash that show. We are March 24th. We'll be rating every team's offseason. We'll be looking at their offseason additions and subtractions and then picking the winner of the offseason. March 28th, we'll be doing our very first power rankings entering the year. And March 31st, the day before opening day, we're going to be doing our regular season predictions. You're not going to want to miss any of it. All that content, elite content, you don't want to miss out on it. So, boys, I'm sure you're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's do one more of these unbiased matchups before we obviously we're going to have to end it for Blaze in a minute, but we've got one here. This is going to be a good one. And these are I had a few the names that I have in some of these are not as big as the first two.
Oh, hey. Finally, we got some stolen bases here. I love to see it. How long was their career?
How long was their career? I'm getting back to the thing. I had to go through the bullpen really quickly. Let me get there. And now okay, here we go. This is through the first 15 years of their career. Well, this is their entire career, 15 years. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is 15 years, but I was looking at the wrong player. But yes, this is 15 years.
Okay.
I'm glad you guys are liking this segment too, because this was something I was really excited about. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. This is a very fun thing that we will definitely be doing a lot.
Is this a second baseman or an outfielder?
I'm not allowed to give you that information.
What is that going to tell me?
I didn't tell you what position they were last time.
Well, I was right last? I was right last time.
You didn't say it was a catcher. You said it was a second baseman.
No, that was the first one.
No, that was the second one. The first one was an outfielder.
Yeah, I done messed up.
39 triples.
39 triples in 15 years. It's got to be a center fielder. Calling it. Lock it in.
Okay.
Are we ready for the second player?
Yes, sir.
I recommend taking a picture of this so you guys can reference it if you haven't done it.
Hold on. Let me get out my trusty steed, which is my phone.
Yes, take it out. Take a picture.
What a great photo.
Save that. Make it your screensaver. Nick, did you get your shot?
I did.
Okay, cool. So we're going to stop sharing. Let me make sure that I have the other one up. Sorry, this is a process. Marco, though, with the elite hookup there to get us going. All right, here we go. This is player B.
Wow. Much better batting average. Better strikeout numbers.
Yeah, it's looking like B's got it.
I don't even have to look at my photo. B.
Yeah, it looks like more home runs, better batting average.
There's just so many tangibles.
This is a good one.
It's batting average, strikeouts, walks, more triples.
Ryan, you're gonna regret this immediately. I know you are.
I know.
Actually,
one of the guys is.
No. It's not Robinson Cano.
I know one of the guys is. No, don't do this to me.
Well, one of them actually played on your team. So they are outfielders. You are correct. Player A is Terry Pendleton, and player B is Melky Cabrera.
I love Melky Cabrera, and I picked him, so I'm happy.
I know, but he got caught with steroids twice.
I know someone else who did that.
I know. So also, if you're listening to us on Blaze, thank you all for tuning on in. Make sure you're back here next week, same time, same day. We'll see you guys all next time. We appreciate you guys for coming out. Make sure you tune in. We're gonna have another fun show next weekend. Okay, back to this. I had to give myself a little break there so that they don't yell at me for going over the time. So I was surprised with this one. Terry Pendleton, very highly respected player. One of the top center fielders, underrated, but comparing it to Melky Cabrera, who Terry Pendleton is a little bit more of a well-respected name, especially because he didn't do steroids. But I was definitely surprised by this one, considering that Melky had such a better stat line. I mean, let's be real here. Terry Pendleton was underwhelming in all of the categories, but yet still is seen as and regarded as a better player than Melky Cabrera by most. So that's good. And now, Nick, I know you're saying you have to head out, so that means that Ryan, it's just going to be you testing me on things. So it's okay.
My no.
Can we save your segment?
We can save his segment. That's fine. We can. Now, you guys don't. You depressed Ryan.
Marco's not even here.
Yeah, you and Marco depressed me.
Well,
Ryan, you know who's sticking around the entire time? This guy. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, this was fun, guys. What's next show? Wednesday?
Yes, next show is Wednesday. So we'll be doing that 10 a.m. Arizona time.
Oh, I cannot wait.
It's going to be good. We'll see you then, Nick.
Later, guys.
Bye, Nick.
All righty, Ryan, it's just you and I. Here we are at the end of the show.
It's okay. It's okay. I had a lot of trouble with these.
We can do more unbiased matchups. I have more here if you want to do like one or two.
Do a couple more, and then I'll quiz you.
Okay, you can quiz me. That's fine. Let me get the screenshot of the first one here.
But I'm not going to be using any of my stuff that I have already prepared.
Okay.
Wednesday's show.
That's fine. I'm waiting for this to load. Here we go.
Let me write up things for you.
What did you say?
Got it. I was just writing up some other things to quiz you on.
Oh, okay. All right. I think this is the right one. Let me make sure that this is the right one. Yes, it is.
Huh. Okay. Outfielder.
Okay, well, now that it's just
I already know.
It's actually not an outfielder.
How in the heck?
It's an infielder. He played a very versatile role. I will say that much.
52 home runs.
Very.
Not looking too hot, buddy. Let's go to the next one.
Alrighty, let me. You got your picture, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this next one up here. All right, let's see. It's not sharing automatically, so let me get this going. All right, here we go. This is player B.
Oh, Lord. 27 home runs.
Now, keep in mind, this is also over a 10-year career.
What's that have to do? You should hit more than 27 home runs in 2 seasons.
That's
Oh,
true.
Lordy.
See, now this one they aren't as big of names.
There's only
one was definitely more well respected.
the one thing that player B has is that average. And I don't remember the OPS plus of the last one. Who had what was the?
You took a picture of it.
No,
OPS plus was 92, the exact same.
I'll go player A. I gotta go player A.
All right, so player A is Alberto Callaspo for the first 10 years of his career, and player B is Skip Schumacher for the first 10 years of his career.
You know, I love Alberto Callaspo.
I know, he's your boy. See, I had.
You want to know the first thing that comes to my head with Alberto Callaspo?
What?
The no-hitter that the Red Sox threw against the Royals. He was the final out.
Was he?
Yes.
Yikes. That's too bad. All right, so let's get this next player up here. I'm working on it still.
It's intriguing.
I know. There we go. Okay, finally. Screenshots for some reason take too long to save on your computer. All righty. This is the last one. Well, actually, I think I have one more after this, so we might as well just do that one. So this one will be the second to last one here. Here we go. This is player A. This is also player A from their entire career, which was 9 years.
Oh, that batting average. That's abysmal.
It is abysmal.
Okay. Power guy. Go ahead.
Oh, we're moving on already? Okay. Let me get this set up. Here we go. Getting there. See, I'm getting much more smooth with this. I definitely would have to say we're much smoother with this than I was at the beginning. You like what you see? Both very low batting average players.
Yeah.
And for the first time, these two players did not play the same position.
Okay, who are they? Who are they?
You're not allowed to know that yet. You have to make your pick.
I said player B.
Oh, you did? I never heard that. Okay.
I was
So,
like, what do you think? What are you doing here?
all right. So player B. So player A is Pedro Alvarez for his entire career.
Wow.
I know,
BA was that low.
I know. I completely agree. And player B was Carlos Quentin for his entire career. So you picked Carlos Quentin from the Padres, but no, White Sox. He was on the White Sox. Wasn't he on? Wait.
He was on the
Wow.
Padres too.
He was on both. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. So solid. I mean, solid players. You can't go wrong with them. I mean, they're both pretty good. Now, this one is going to be a very interesting one, and I think you guys. I'm forgetting that it's just you and me today at this point. This one is our first pitcher matchup, so I will say that is going to be different, and it's interesting because pitchers have a lot more stats. They have many more stats than the hitters do. So
All you guys show me is ERA, WHIP, hits per nine, stuff like that. We're good.
Yeah, I've got you. I'm showing it for you. Let's do it. There we go. There's player A.
Let's see it. Oh gosh, now I have to actually zoom in.
I know, because it's like there's a lot more.
Okay. Okay, I can tell that this was a starter,
Yes.
which makes the ERA pretty.
It's 408 starts in 430 games. Yes, he's a starter.
I didn't see that part. That makes the ERA very much acceptable. That's not a bad ERA.
No.
I'd be fine with that. This WHIP, ooh, little high. Hits per nine isn't terrible. Walks per nine is compared to strikeouts per nine is a little bit concerning. Go ahead and move on to the next guy, my friend.
All righty. Let me get that going for you. Working on it. We're getting there. Thank you for everybody's patience. All right, here we go. Player B.
Oh, wow. 505 starts. Okay. ERA's a little bit higher. Whoa. That whip is bad. That's a bad whip.
1,300 more innings, though. Keep that in mind.
I don't care. That's still a bad whip. 1.4 is horrible. You know the range on whips. 1.2 is like the end of acceptability.
Yes. Now, this one is not going to be
Player A. Gotta go.
Yeah. This one is not more about how good the player is. Because let me say this, player A is a Hall of Famer, player B is not, but player B pitched in 1887. And we have never heard of this player who pitched very well for his time. In 1887, a 1.4 whip is actually really, really good. Obviously, I couldn't give you that context beforehand. But player A,
it's a good whip for that time. But for now, that's horrible.
Oh, of course. Player A is Jack Morris. And player B is Gus Wayhing, a player neither of us have ever heard of, and I guarantee you the other three that were here today never heard of him either. But for his time period, being a very good pitcher like that, he stacks up very similarly to Jack Morris if you compared their eras, and he's a guy we never heard of. This one was more of discovering a player none of us have heard of who probably should be respected more for the stats that he had. So that's it for the unbiased matchups. Really, I love this segment. I'm really glad that we did this segment today because I think it's a really cool thing that we're definitely going to do more of these in the future. I got through all 6 of the ones that I had for today too. And Ryan, unfortunately, you didn't get to do your segment today, but you've got some trivia for me and some quizzing. So go ahead.
Sir, starting off, the 1999 Hall of Fame class featured 3 first ballot inductees, the most since 1936. Who were the 3?
All right. Well, you know I'm going to get none of these right, but I can try. So 1999. Now, I know that back in the 90s, the way that people got into the Hall of Fame, the timing was a little different than it is today. Like, I know that today it's you wait 4 years and then you're on the ballot. I know that back then it was a little different. So 3 first balloters in 1999. Now, that's got to be okay. One of them, I'm going to go with Doc Gooden. No? Okay. Was I close? No, darn. Okay. So it's got to be someone who was really good in the 80s. Nolan Ryan? Yes, nice. Let's go. All right. Okay. I'm surprised that I even got one. So Nolan Ryan made sense to me. That stood out. Number 2, I'm going to go with Fernando Valenzuela. No. Okay. I tried. Man, it's hard because you've got to think of people that would be easy first ballots. And especially back then, first ballot Hall of Famers were not as common. I don't know. You're going to have to either tell me or give me a hint.
You had one of them played for my team. That should give you one right away.
Oh, they don't have to be pitchers.
No.
I don't know why I've been thinking of pitchers. I don't know why. I've been thinking only pitchers. George Brett.
The only Royals Hall of Famer. That's correct.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, that really opened the door for me, considering that I just was stupid. And
terrific shortstop for the final one.
Terrific shortstop. Oh, Ricky Henderson.
Henderson did not play shortstop, buddy.
Oh, he played outfield. Sorry. Wow.
Okay, how about this? The guy that is played a lot of shortstop, but also was in center field as well. I should add that as well.
Ozzie Smith.
You're on track. You're in the same division.
No, Ernie Banks was a second baseman. I played a lot earlier. Same division. Robin Yount?
That's correct, Robin Yount.
Okay. I didn't know he played center field. That's good to know.
Yeah, he didn't play there as much, but he did play there.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, the Brooklyn Dodgers, nickname originally referred to dodging what?
Baseballs.
Nope.
All right. Well, how would I know this? Well, the Dodgers were from the 1900s. Bombs from the war?
Nope.
Am I on track?
Nope.
Okay. I feel like it might have to do with prohibition.
No.
Dang it. Okay.
Has to do with transportation.
Dodging a bus that's coming at you?
Not a bus.
A car?
Not a car.
A train?
Should I give it to him?
You
It's
should.
really close.
I don't know. What are they dodging?
Trolleys.
What? That's so weird. That's so funny though. Good for them.
What do you expect?
I mean, yeah, that's 100 years ago. It's crazy.
Have you watched The Simpsons?
I have not.
Then I can't ask you that. What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
Female pitcher? I don't know. I didn't know that ever happened.
Jackie Mitchell, a 17-year-old female pitcher for the AA Chattanooga Lookouts.
You really expect me to know that? What's her name? Jackie Mitchell?
Yep.
Good to know. Okay. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll head out because I've got some stuff to
Which
do before.
pitcher threw the ball that broke Sammy Sosa's bat, revealing illegal cork? The illegal cork inside.
I don't know. Randy Johnson? I have no clue. You come up with these like ridiculously hard things.
Gonzalez.
Jeremy Gonzalez. All right. Well, now that you did that, I'm gonna have to hit you with some trivia.
That's trivia.
I am. You're right. Except I don't know where the answers are.
You don't even know Mets trivia.
Yes, I do. Okay. Let's see. How many Cy Young Awards did former Mets pitcher Johan Santana win during his 12-year MLB career?
Johan Santana. Wow.
This is the only question I'm going to ask.
Why?
Fine, I'll ask you another.
Wow, Johan Santana.
You want me to give you answer choices?
It was 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2.
God, you're too good at this. Okay, it was 2. Okay, let's see here. Okay.
That was a good one, though. That was a good
It
one.
was. Solid. Which former Mets pitcher once said, "You have the honor and privilege of being in position to do something amazingly special. If you have the chance, you must do it." A. Pedro Martinez, B. Al Leiter, C. Nolan Ryan, or D. Tom Seaver?
You lost me at halfway through.
You have the honor and privilege of being in position to do something amazingly special. If you have the chance, you must do it.
Chance. Why do I feel like that's something Tom Seaver would say?
Why are you? You're too good. I need to stump you.
Also, when you think of Mets, you think of a guy like Tom Seaver. That
That's
was
true.
my main guess.
It's very true. You're right. Let's see. Here we go. Which team did not move from the NL East to the NL Central in 1994? A, the Cubs, B, the B, the Pirates, C, the Blue Jays, and D, the Cardinals. Okay, well.
Okay, hold on. Say that again.
The Cubs, Pirates, Blue Jays, and Cardinals.
Cubs, Pirates, Blue Jays.
Which did not move to the NL Central?
Wait, hold on. Cubs,
Pirates, Blue Jays, and Cardinals.
Blue Jays.
I was hoping you would get that wrong, and then I could laugh at you. All right, some of these are a little bit easier than I expected them to
I
be.
hate that. I was overthinking that. I was like, wait a second, hold on.
You really were. You were taking a lot longer than I expected you to.
Well, I wasn't comprehending it. I was thinking of all that.
All right, last question. What team drafted Mike Piazza?
Oh.
That's going to do it for the quiz, folks.
Oh, I hate this. I think I know who it is, though.
Who?
My dad told me this. He was drafted by the Dodgers.
Correct.
My dad's a Dodger fan.
Well, so is Marco, and Marco's unfortunately not here. So,
yeah, drafted by the Dodgers. Wasn't it like in like the 70th round or something?
68th. So It was pretty good. But that was a fun show today. We had a lot of fun. Again, really glad Tim came on. I'm sure you'll be seeing him more.
Than you, because he's not biased, or at least he's more objective.
Maybe he can host one day. I don't know. But
if he hosts before me, we have an issue. Just saying. Hey,
you had the opportunity to host and you didn't.
Well,
Just saying.
I can't. I'm not just going to get on here and talk blindly for 5 minutes. I need
I've
someone to
done it.
get off of.
I've done it many times. So thank you all for tuning on in today. We really appreciate it. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun. Tim Ryder, obviously, big thank you for having him on. I'm sure he'll come on again at some point in the future. We're going to hopefully have Justin Toscano on sometime next week. Oh, in the next couple of weeks. We're hoping next week. But also keep in mind, you and the other guys on the show can have your own people on. Just, link me up with them, and I can have them on the show. So it'll be exciting to have some more guests on the show. I'm hoping to have a lot more in the near future, especially as we get into the regular season. So thank you all for tuning on in today. We appreciate you guys for coming on out, and we will see you all next time.